What's up, people? This is Javon Studios here, and today I want to talk about Anthem, BioWare's last chance to prove that they can still make a good game. But today I'm here to dispute that idea and go far enough to say that the game will tank one way or another. There's a small amount of hype for the game, and an overwhelmingly amount of worry and fear for BioWare. For if Anthem doesn't succeed, BioWare will be the latest studio in EA's graveyard. Here's 5 possible reasons why Anthem will fail. Number 1, microtransactions and cosmetics. I have grown to hate cosmetic microtransactions entirely. It's an excuse to slow down the progression system of the game to almost an unbearable halt, and the only way to get items quickly is to pay for the cosmetics. I don't mean to suggest that all games do this, but specifically for AAA titles and especially for EA. BioWare did announce that the game will not have microtransactions, but if you really think about it, it could be like how Call of Duty Black Ops 4 was handled. Activision waited until the reviews of the game came out, then released the microtransactions a month later, fooling everyone. But yet, again, I have to remind you that this is EA we're talking about here. EA said, and I quote, "Anthem will be a 10-year journey, and it starts on launch day." Do you really think they're not going to sneak in any type of microtransactions in the game and push out an excuse for it the same day? Sometime after launch, maybe the first DLC, expect some type of monetization, especially since their stocks looks like mountain ranges and valleys. Investors want growth, not steady, consistent revenue. This progress or nothing. It's either progress or nothing. At some point in time, much like Activision, EA will have to pull many strings in an attempt to win back investors. Number 2, the story. BioWare is known for their storytelling, and unsurprisingly, since EA brought BioWare, their stories have been a complete joke. Either lack of focus or lack of care for the story, caused by EA's influence and deadlines. BioWare have confirmed that the game's story is not the primary focus. So already, this shows Anthem could be just another generic multiplayer game with hardly any story. This is a trend across almost every multiplayer game released this generation. Battlefield resorted to war stories, while Call of Duty got rid of their single-player story altogether. 343 Industries have no idea what to do with Halo. Gears of War still had a campaign of some kind, thank God, but it's not as good as the last titles. I predict that lots of people will be angry on Reddit or Twitter complaining about the lackluster story, while at the same time other gamers will defend it, probably the same people who played Destiny over and over and over again since the launch of the first game. The story is important, but the story is not important. It'll be explained in DLC. Most gamers will probably cry out on social medias. Little do these gamers know that narratives and characters, setting, and dialogue, cutscenes are the driving force of narratives. These people don't know what narrative structures are or why majority of gamers still play games. Number 3, the engine. Here's something we all can agree on. The Frostbite engine by EA. EA just simply refuses to have any other games built on other engines. Every company under EA must use the Frostbite engine, and it's not a perfect engine. It's not built for RPGs. I don't need to remind you about Mass Effect Andromeda and why that happened, do I? I can't even bear to remember it. But the engine is terrible for RPGs, but EA simply refuses to acknowledge it. Bugs at launch, bugs and glitches could plague the game at launch. After all, what game published by EA doesn't have any bugs or glitches? Broken AI with terrible, laughable dialogue, random crashes. It may be broken, but at least it's still playable, unlike Fallout 76. Don't hold your breath on that one. Number 4 is chaotic development. Besides everything else, this is a huge one. BioWare's fate is on the line here. They are on trial when the game releases. All the level design, gameplay, characters, technical performance, and everything else will be judged. And all in all, I predict about an 80% on Metacritic for the critical score, and maybe a 75% for user score. But if it's a 90 on critics and a 60 on users, something is definitely wrong. The choices made in the game reflect more on the user score. It could be one thing, maybe a tiny thing a critic from IGN would overlook. That could be RNG loot, disorganized menus, stories, gun selection, really anything. The last reason why Anthem will fail is because of its 10-year plan. Much like Destiny, they announced the 10-year plan, a whole universe, before the first game even comes out. This game is priced at $60, so naturally, gamers want a full-fledged, full-price experience because they paid the whole full price. Weird concept, I know, EA, I know. Destiny failed time and time and time again because it focused on stretching every single thing, not even thinking about its time, not even thinking about taking its time to get it right the first time. It had deadline after deadline, rushed DLCs at ludicrous prices, controversy after controversy, lawsuits, scummy monetization practices. None of it was thoroughly thought out. This is the exact same problem with Anthem. Already, we know that the story isn't the main focus. The main attraction of the world, its meaning, its development, is already lacking. So there will be no value to it at launch. They are focused on the 10 years and not on the now. Marvel created every film with lovable and careable characters. Rarely with any issues or delays. They knew that they had to develop the world and establish the character and the lore before giving us big stories like the Avengers. Since then, a number of movie companies tried to follow suit, but failed even before the first movie hit theaters. Because it's rushed and not focused on the now. It's instead focused on future setups. BioWare, you have less than a month for this game to release, and right now I'm still not impressed. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is Javon Studios signing out. Have a good one.